So here's my frame. It's going to be 10 feet tall, and what I did was I made it out of PVC, as you can see here. If the camera adjusts, there we go. And it's kind of quarter circles because I don't want a completely 180 degree round. But what I did is I started at the bottom here and made the back piece and then the front piece, and I bent this thing just using my foot and bending the tubes. Now for the back one, what I did was I put a piece of conduit in there so that it's rigid. So it's PVC on the outside, but it's got conduit on the inside. So what I did was I put that in there and then put these corners on there, as you can see. I bent the PVC as best I could with my foot, and then put it inside these corners, and then I let it sit out in the sun for 2 weeks while the heat warmed it up. I did the same thing with this one. And I did the same thing with the top one, as you can see there. Now the top and the bottom have the same kind of elbows on them. Now, one that goes up 90 in two different ways. But for this one here, I had to make something because they didn't have a elbow for what I needed to do here, which was I needed a T, but I needed it to come out in a 90 like this too. So what I did is I bought some of these threaded ends here. Hopefully you can see that. The light seems to be not adjusting very well. Okay, maybe this is a little better angle. And what I did was I took the T and I drilled out one side, on the other side of course. I drilled out one side, and then I screwed this into that T. Damn, you really can't see that, can you? Okay, I think this angle is getting a little bit better light on it. So as you can see, I took this T, I drilled a hole into it, and I took this threaded end on here and basically screwed it in. It took some drilling. I used a 3/4 inch drill, and then I had to take a file to kind of continue filing it to finally get it in there. But once I got it in there and threaded it in there, it's pretty solid. So now I'm able to get something that goes straight up this way, and this way. Now the angle, although unfortunately the angle isn't quite the right angle, it kind of tilted out a little bit, so I end up having to heat the PVC. So basically what I did is I just took a piece of conduit in here and took a heat gun and just kept heating up right here, and then I bent it so that it was the angle I needed, and I did that on both sides. Where's the top? There it goes. So I bent these three pieces here first, top, middle, and bottom, and I let them sit outside for a couple weeks in the sun. They warmed up, so that when I went to cut these center pieces out and put another T and then across another T, the PVC kind of held its shape, and it actually has held its shape. So this morning what I did is I came out and I cut these here, and then I put a T there, I put a cross there, and then a T on top. Now inside this upright is also conduit, so it's nice and firm. It's not bending. These back pieces here as well have conduit in them, so again, they're nice and strong and they're not going anywhere. Now my idea is to take my pixels and attach them to this clear tubing. I bought this clear tubing. I thought it might be easier to work with, and I'm going to, it's not attached right now, I just stuck it here to show you guys, but I'm going to attach it at the top and then attach it at the bottom, and then, you know, I'm going to have 24 strands on here, so it's going to be 12 on this side and 12 on that side, and the lights are going to be attached to that. So I'm hoping the clear tube, you won't really see you won't be able to see it at night. Well, there might be a little bit of reflection on it, but they didn't have black tubing that I could use that was this flexible. I was originally thinking about hanging it on this wall here, but at this point I may, you know, now that I see it can really pretty much freestand on its own, I can move it around and put it anywhere I want to. And I can put the controllers inside. So, okay, well, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what I've did. So, conduit in the backs for support on all three of them, conduit in all three uprights, made this thing pretty sturdy and pretty easy to move. Pick it up and I can move it around anywhere I want without it coming apart. I did put screws, if I can show them to you. There's screws holding it all together, 2 on there, and there's a couple back here. So every T or cross has screws in it to hold it together. So at the end of the season, all I got to do is unscrew it, take the uprights out, keep the quarter rounds assembled, and then hang them up in the garage. Okay, I just wanted to share it with you guys. Thank you.